So how are you guys enjoying the Season 5 PTR so far? Sound off in the comments down below. But guess what? Blizzard gave us some brand new updates today about what they're going to be doing going forward when Season 5 finally officially launches. Because yes, they are definitely paying attention to all the feedback going on right now. There is a ton of feedback about many different issues that players are facing right now. Let me tell you what, there's part of the community here that are not happy with some things that are happening with Diablo 4. And then there's some elements that are definitely a plus from Season 5, don't get me wrong, but we're going to talk about all of that and also how the base game is just not able to keep up with all of the big changes to classes and mechanics and what Blizzard could possibly do to help out with that. But yeah, also, check this out right here. So yeah, summer is upon us, and there are a ton of great games coming up, which means you need more money to save up for these upcoming games. Well, I have discovered a way to save a good deal of money, and that is through Factor, which is the ultimate meal kit solution delivered right to your doorstep. Your meals can be ready in 2 minutes, and you don't have to worry about grocery shopping or a messy kitchen. It's cost-effective and hassle-free. So make summer a time to enjoy and relax with Factor's tasty, healthy meal options. Consider breakfast, lunch, and dinner handled. It's that easy, so you have more time for the things you love to do, like gaming. There's over 35 meal options to choose from per week, including options like keto, calorie smart, vegan plus veggie, and much more. And many different snacks as well. Now, Factor is also super flexible. Change up your order every week with plans from 4 to 18 meals per week, or pause or reschedule your deliveries anytime. It's nice to have options. So join me right now, save money to go towards your next big game purchase instead of costly groceries. Click my link in the description below and use my code OWGJUN50 to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders. Check it out. So first up, a PSA for Season 5 PTR players straight from Adam Fletcher of Blizzard. They did say they were planning on taking down the PTR for a quick update that changed into a hotfix, which is currently rolling out right now. And that relates to issues to Ephemeral Compass and Abyssal Scrolls. And then, this is really noteworthy. They say this separately. We have seen quite a few reports on boss health being a bit overtuned. This is a bug, and boss HP will be retuned for Season 5 release. So that is extremely important to note about the bosses, because there have been a lot of feedback regarding bosses. And mentioning bosses, it seems like Wujo is really enjoying himself over here. Check it out. Resummoning bosses without reset in Season 5 is pretty good, obviously. So damn, that is pretty impressive. Now, also, we have some Season 5 PTR known issues, as stated right here in this post from Adam Fletcher. Now, this post, I'm going to paraphrase it a little bit, goes on to state that, hey, this is a PTR. Remember that things are going to be very much work in progress, and the point of this is to get your feedback. But they did note some things here, that the Beast and Ice will not yet have the dungeon changes to access the summoning altar directly. Players will have to go through the current flow of creating the Nightmare Dungeon Sigil. So this is all very much like work in progress. You're definitely going to notice some things out of place with the PTR. They really want to get feedback. I think about like class changes, nerfs, buffs, that sort of thing is extremely important to them. And we have a reply here out on Twitter. It says this. Andrew says, thanks for all the work you guys do. Do you have the patch notes for what's changing during the downtime ready yet? And Adam went on to clarify, we will post hotfix later. These are mostly focused on issues tied around compasses and scrolls. We have seen the copious amounts of other feedback regarding reward qualities, class balance, and more that won't be present in this, but know that many of those feedback points will be reflected in Season 5 launch. It's almost like they need to do another campfire stream, or at least like a very extended blog post telling us, hey, what's going on with things like the Sorcerer, the buffs and nerfs that are happening. It's good to know that they will be tuning the bosses. I think some people were actually kind of enjoying the challenge behind that, so I'm kind of curious your take, if you guys are actually concerned about that one or not. But a lot of people are concerned about how the base game has changed since launch because of all of what has happened with every season. It seems like the game is more and more about the seasonal mechanics than what was present through actually leveling up and that sort of experience. That's very much becoming kind of like an afterthought. This right here dives into it. It says the base game needs to adjust to the changes made since launch. It says, to put it bluntly, We have had more power creep in 1 year than Diablo 3 had in 10. We earn far more experience and have far more power and can race through levels much, much faster than at launch. And yet the game is still built around the ideas of slow leveling and lower player power. Now, he did put an edit here, and he says this to clarify. Seems a few people think I'm advocating for slower leveling down. No, I do not. I did not say or suggest that. The game needs to adjust to account for the faster leveling. Okay, so we have that clarified. Now he says this, the early world tiers were designed to be used for leveling, but people just level in world tier 4 because the content is so easy. And yes, even for undergeared casual players, characters now start with boosted stats, enough skill points to use a core skill at level 1, and enough Paragon points to instantly unlock a glyph at level 50, even though they most likely won't have a yellow glyph at that stage. You are able to unlock your class ability within a few minutes of playtime. We don't need to upgrade our potions every 10 or oddly 15 levels. People speed to level 60 without even bothering. We really only need one upgrade at 50 and one at 90. Job done. And I want to take a pause there because I'm kind of curious about your perspective on this one. Do you guys miss the process of leveling in Diablo 4, where it was really about, I wouldn't say taking your time through the world tiers, but it seems like capstone dungeons are now not important whatsoever. That process is kind of like gone in a way from Diablo 4. Yeah, sure, it's still there, but it doesn't offer the challenge it used to whatsoever. It's more about getting to the seasonal mechanic as fast as possible, and then a lot of your core gameplay is experienced there, and that base game that we knew of and some people really enjoyed is kind of missing in action and is becoming an afterthought. Is this a problem to you guys or not? I am extremely curious, and this post has a lot of upvote, so it seems like a lot of people are starting to really talk about this and really noting. And he does also go on to mention how, you know, the Butcher, you barely have to face off against him. He is a pushover. World bosses die before they complete their starting animations. Blood Maidens are blotted in a second, and so on and so forth. How world tiers are just irrelevant now. So yeah, it's a lot of concern, and it just seems like they're pushing whatever mechanic is the seasonal mechanic, and that's it. That's what Diablo 4 has become. So sound off if you want. Kind of like the old style of play back in Diablo 4, or do you think you're down for the seasonal mechanic being the forefront of the game experience going forward? All right, so also, yeah, we have this one right here. It says, Blizzard, you really need to hint and mention what reworks you have for Sorcerer to let it actually scale damage. It's ridiculous. A lot of people are very angry about what is happening with the Sorcerer. And this post, if I could paraphrase it real fast, basically says, hey, it seems like Blizzard's intent is to simply nerf a lot of the other classes to perhaps bring them down to the level of the Sorcerer, when a lot of people, all they want is the Sorcerer to be brought up on the level of the other classes. At least that's what I'm getting from this. But yeah, I just think nerfing is just a very, very tricky road to go down. And I think that the Sorcerer needs some love in terms of buffs and class adjustment and balance. I've heard it since launch, and it's time that they take this feedback seriously for sure. All right, so yes, there's some good things from the Season 5 PTR. This is noteworthy. We can now select which types of damage are shown when in combat. And guess what? I pretty much have all the damage indicators off right now. You guys may have seen my previous video where someone suggested, hey, shut off the damage indicators. And I did that, and I am enjoying the hell out of the game. It is crisp looking without the damage indicator. So I don't know. Going forward, I'm considering playing it like this. It's just so good looking, without all this text interrupting the screen and going over the beautiful artwork. And then there's this as well. It says nearly all aspects in the codex now have a unique icon. And yeah, I believe that they're also, from what I saw, color coded as well. So there's different colors, green, blues, reds in there, so you can really discern what's what, which is a very, very nice change. So yeah, there's some things that are happening with the Season 5 PTR that are definitely a positive. I can definitely note that my Necromancer feels a little bit different for sure. I don't know if they're trying to make it more challenging or they're just trying to get me to try a different build Seems like this season for season 5, I'm definitely going to have to adapt and try a different build going forward. But still, my Necromancer did pretty good. I mean, you know, his survivability's up there. It's just I got to get more damage going for sure. Now, also, let's get into your top comments from my previous video. So let's do this. Check it out. We have Lacey who says, I can guarantee that none of the developers play Sorcerer as their main class. They're all way too busy dreaming about barbs. Source has accidentally had meta builds which the devs nerfed ASAP. Meanwhile, barbs do billions in damage while also having 200 to 300,000 life. Barb-loving devs, this is fine. Yeah, going from class to class, you can definitely feel the balancing issues for sure. You guys know I love Necromancer, as you can see right here. But yeah, I've also been messing around with Rogue, and I noticed that the Rogue does a ton of damage. There's just something about it that feels very different from playing Necromancer more recently. Also, we have David, who says this. Yeah, whoever's in charge of the Sorcerer needs to be fired or at least yelled at because he or she is doing a horrible job. Gotta love how Sorcerer can hit only millions and other classes are hitting billions, yet they're the one getting shafted by nerfs. Also, world bosses should be a 15-minute fight, but reward should be impressive too for the task. Yeah, I don't know. The situation with the world bosses is so strange. Those definitely need to be adjusted. They're just completely pointless. I don't even, you know, this is sad to say, I don't even look forward to doing the world bosses. It's kind of a chore. I'm just there for the loot, you know? So it's a bummer that they haven't adjusted this yet because I was hoping that world bosses would be far more important than they currently are. But we'll see what happens in the future with those. But there it is. The latest happenings around Diablo 4 and Season 5. Look out for more news and updates. We'll see how this goes when Season 5 actually launches. But I'm curious to see what they do with the feedback. Season 4 was legit. Like, I thought it was very good. I really have enjoyed it so far. And Season 5, I'm crossing my fingers that they can nail this one down too, because this wave mode is a lot of fun so far. But yeah, stay tuned for more news and updates about all things Diablo 4. I have you guys covered, and I will see you all next time. Take care.